worked under the reign of Russell and under Stephen. How are the two of them different as showrunners?
To be honest, not massively. They're just as supportive and encouraging and passionate about the show. For both of them, Doctor Who is a show that's just in their DNA, and so and their understanding of it and their sort of boundless, endless enthusiasm for it is much the same. I think, to be honest, I've changed as a writer because it was, I guess, about 5 years between School Reunion and Vampires of Venice, and I think I've changed and hopefully matured a lot as a writer. So I think maybe the difference is probably with me more than the showrunners.
Do you find it different writing for different doctors?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And the thing is that I couldn't really kind of give you a list of what the differences are, but no, there is. And but again, what I've been very lucky with is that both with Russell's writing of David and Stephen's writing for Matt, both characters were so clear and so deftly created that the characters were on the page fully formed, fully three-dimensional, and so from a writer's point of view, that makes it much easier then to pick up the baton and run with that character when they're so clearly defined.
There was a lot of concern that when the doctors changed actors, that the audience may not come with you, but it seems like they've embraced Matt in a really big way. So how does that feel from a writing standpoint?
To be honest, every single time the Doctor has changed, from when William Hartnell changed into Patrick Troughton, there were people saying, "Oh, well, that's it. The show's over." And yet it has lasted, nearly 50 years. And so to be complete, and I remember reading. Funny enough, I remember reading a little thing in the newspaper when David took over from Chris Eccleston, and again there was people saying, "Oh, well, he's going to ruin it," and of course he didn't. And then every Doctor has built on and advanced the kind of success of the show. So of course there will always be naysayers, but I think that Matt has been an absolute revelation. I think that even my son, who was a very passionate Doctor Who fan, David was his Doctor. And in a way, he's a kind of good marker for it, and he's completely embraced Matt. And and there comes a point where you just kind of think, you can't imagine anyone else playing that part.
They say you never forget your first Doctor. I think I've seen it on T-shirts around here. Who was your first Doctor?
I guess my first Doctor was Tom Baker, and I think that he was a tough act to follow. For me, and it was ironic then, I guess, that when I did School Reunion, that in a way the golden years of Sarah Jane's time in Doctor Who was with Tom Baker, and I remember her so vividly from my childhood. So it was an extraordinary thing to write that episode. I would say Tom Baker was, but I've loved them all. And then, as I say, I think to be honest, I'd say Matt is probably is my Doctor now.
The season has been split into two halves this year. Is it different writing for that, knowing you're going to have that mid-season cliffhanger?
Not necessarily. It doesn't really change anything. I think it's actually been a fantastic idea. I think that. And whether they'll be able to do that in the future, I don't know. But because the thing is that Doctor Who is such a popular show, and people are so passionate about it.